Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. As I woke up this morning, I thought about the situation that we're all in right now. Churches are empty, and parks are empty, and restaurants are empty, but the tomb is also empty. And that is the reason we celebrate Easter. With that, I thought about one of my favorite books. Now, as many of you know, I've been doing some read alouds for work, but this morning I wanted to do a read aloud for my family and friends. It's one of my favorite books, and I think it applies not just to kids, but it applies to adults too. It's by Max Lucado, and it's You Are Special. The Wimmicks were small wooden people. All the wooden people were carved by a woodworker named Eli. His workshop sat on a hill overlooking the village. Each Wimmick was different. Some had big noses. Others had large eyes. Some were tall and others were short. Some wore hats. Others wore coats. But all were made by the same carver, and all lived in the village. One day, just like every day, the Wimmicks did the same thing. They gave each other stickers. Each Wimmick had a box of golden star stickers and a box of gray dot stickers. Up and down the streets and all over the city, people spent their days sticking stars and dots on one another. The pretty ones, those with smooth wood fine paint, they got the stars. But if the wood was rough or the paint was chipped, the Wimmicks gave dots. The talented ones got stars too, and some could lift big sticks high above their heads or jump over tall boxes. Still, others knew big words or could sing pretty songs, and well, everyone gave them stars. Some Wimmicks had stars all over them. Every time they got a star, it made them feel good. It made them want to do something else to get another star. Others, though, could do little, and they got dots. Punchinello was one of these. He tried to jump high like all the others, but he always fell. And when he fell, the others would gather around him and they'd give him dots. Sometimes when he fell, his wood got scratched, so the people gave him more dots. Then, when he would try to explain why he fell, he would say something silly, and the Wimmicks would give him more dots. After a while, he had so many dots that he didn't want to go outside. He was afraid he would do something dumb, such as forget his hat or step in the water, and then the people would give him another dot. In fact, he had so many gray dots that some people would come up and give him one for no reason at all. He deserves lots of dots, the wooden people would agree with one another. He's not a good wooden person. After a while, Punchinello believed them. I'm not a good Wimmick, he would say. The few times he went outside, he hung around other Wimmicks who had lots of dots. It made him feel better to be around them. One day, he met a Wimmick who was unlike any he'd ever met before. She had no dots and no stars. She was just wooden. Her name was Lucia. It wasn't that people didn't try to give her stickers. It's just that the stickers didn't stick. Some of the Wemmicks admire Lucia for having no dots, so they would run up and they would give her a star. But it would fall off. Others would look down on her for having no stars, so they would give her a dot. But the dot didn't stick either. That's the way I want to be, thought Punchinello. I don't want anyone's marks. So he asked the stickerless Wemmick how she did it. It's easy, Lucia replied. Every day I go see Eli. Eli? Yes, Eli, the wood carver. I sit in the workshop with him. Why? Well, why don't you go and find out for yourself? Go up to the hill. He's there. And with that, the Wemmick who had no stickers turned and skipped away. But will he want to see me? Punchinello cried out. Lucia, she didn't hear him, so Punchinello went home. He sat near a window and watched the wooden people as they scurried around, giving each other stars and dots. It's not right, he muttered to himself. And he decided, maybe I'll go see Eli. He walked up the narrow path to the top of the hill and stepped into the big shop. His wooden eyes widened at the size of everything. The stool was as tall as he was. He had to stretch on his tiptoes to see the top of the workbench. A hammer was as long as his arm, and Punchinello swallowed hard. I'm not staying here. And he turned to leave. Then he heard his name. Punchinello. How good to see you. Come, let me have a look at you. Punchinello turned slowly and looked at the large bearded craftsman. You know my name? The little Wemmick asked. Of course I do. I made you. Eli stooped down and picked him up and set him on the bench. The maker spoke thoughtfully as he looked at the gray dots. Looks like you've been given some bad marks. Oh, I didn't mean to, Eli. I tried really hard. Oh, you don't have to defend yourself to me, my child. I don't care what the other Wemmicks think. You don't? No. And you shouldn't either. Who are they to give stars or dots? They're Wemmicks, just like you. What they think doesn't matter, Punchinello. All that matters is what I think. And I think you're special. Punchinello laughed. Me? Special? Why? I can't walk fast, and I can't jump, and my paint is peeling. Why do I matter to you? Eli looked at Punchinello, put his hands on those small wooden shoulders, and spoke very slowly. Because you're mine. That's why you matter to me. Punchinello had never met anyone that looked at him like this, much less the person who made him. He didn't know what to say. Every day, I've been hoping that you would come and see me, Eli explained. Well, I came because I met someone who had no marks, said Punchinello. I know. She told me about you. Why don't the stickers and dots stay on her? The maker spoke softly. Because she's decided that what I think is more important than what they think. The stickers only stick if you let them. What? The stickers only stick if they matter to you. The more you trust my love, the less you care about their stickers. Oh, I'm not sure I understand. Eli smiled. You will, but it's going to take time. You've got a lot of marks. For now, you just come and see me every day and let me remind you how much I love you. Eli lifted Punchinello off the bench and set him on the ground. Remember, Eli said as the Wemmick walked out the door, you are special because I made you, and I don't make mistakes. Punchinello didn't stop, but in his heart he thought, I think he really means it. And when he did, a dot fell to the ground. Now, one of the reasons I love that story is it reminds me that no matter how many dots I have, my Maker still loves me. God still loves me, no matter how many dots or stickers I have. But it also reminds me not to be the one that gives somebody else a dot or a sticker. The other day I heard somebody say something about somebody else, about another culture. And it made me think of this book. You see, I don't want to be one of the Wemmick people that give other people dots or stars. I want to be one of the Wemmick people that tells them about Eli. So for that, I want to wish everybody a very happy Easter.